I know you've thought about giving up, that doubts and fears have made you believe there's no way out. But the truth is, we're still here, you and I, somehow connected. I still believe we can build something, even if you think all is lost. I'm not here to convince you with promises or speeches. I'm here because there is a force between us that resists. No matter how much time has passed, how much we've tried to follow different paths, deep down there is something that pulls us back, that insists on keeping us close, even when we try to ignore it. Maybe you don't see it now. Maybe you think it's too late, that it's not worth it. But I see a chance. I feel that we can still transform what was broken into something new, something real. It doesn't have to be like before. In fact, it shouldn't be like before. I want a new story, built with everything we've learned, with everything we've been through. I'm here saying this because I still believe. And I believe not because it's easy, but because it's true. I want you to know that. And if at some point you feel that you also want to try, I'm here. It's not a promise of a happy ending. It's a promise to try truly together. I know you must be wondering why I'm insisting, that it might seem like I'm holding on to something that only exists in my head. But that's not it. I see something real between us. Something we've lived, something that marked us, that changed who we are. And I feel deep down that we still have a chance. Not because we need to go back to what we were, but because we still have the power to create something better, something more true. Think for a moment. Can you remember the times when everything seemed to make sense? When our dreams and plans had a space of their own, as if the rest of the world disappeared? Those moments were not an illusion, and I know you feel it too, even if faintly, like a distant memory. They meant something, and that's why I'm here, with this desire to try again, to bring a new chapter to this story. I don't expect you to just accept all this right away. I know there is pain, frustration, and hurt. I know we've been through tough times that may seem impossible to overcome. But I also believe we can transform all that. We can take the scars and make them serve a greater purpose, something real, something built with who we are today. I know you've heard words before. I know we've tried before. But now it's different. I'm here without masks, without trying to show an ideal version of myself. I'm here as I am, with all my mistakes, with all my flaws, with everything you know and might not like. And it's this person, this version of me, that wants to try again. Because I don't want to live with the doubt of what we could have been, with the weight of a story that was left unfinished. You know that life isn't made only of perfect moments. That love isn't a fairy tale, that things get complicated, that we make mistakes and hurt each other unintentionally. But even with all that, I still believe it's worth fighting for what we feel, that it's worth trying, even knowing the path might be full of challenges. I don't want to convince you of anything. I'm not here to make empty promises or to shower you with pretty words. I'm just here to say that if you have that same desire, if you feel even deep down that it's still worth it, I am here. I'm willing to face whatever comes, to confront the difficulties, and to rebuild what was broken. If you take this step with me, it won't be perfect. And I don't want it to be. I want it to be genuine, to be done with sincerity, with the strength of someone who understands that love is also made of choices, of sacrifices, of accepting the other with all their parts, good and bad. I'm willing to go beyond appearances, beyond expectations, because what matters to me is what we are when we are together, even if we're not perfect. Think about it. Consider if it's not worth giving us this chance, without expectations, without idealizations, but with the commitment to truly try. This is not an easy choice, and I understand if you still have doubts, but I'm here, extending my hand, believing that we can do something different, something that brings meaning to everything we've experienced so far. If you decide to take this step, we will move forward together, building, facing the difficulties head on. Let's do this as two people who understand the value of starting over, of overcoming the past, of turning wounds into lessons, and more than that, of seeing the future as something we can indeed create, something we can build together, with patience, with dedication. All I ask for is a chance, not a guarantee that everything will be perfect or easy, but an opportunity to show that this story can still be beautiful, can still make sense, because in the end, what really matters is knowing that we gave our best, that we did not allow fear or hurt to decide for us. The decision is ours, and I am here, hoping that you also feel this desire to continue, to try, to see where this story can take us. If you feel that you also want this, let's move forward, together. Let's make room for this hope. Let's give a new meaning to what we are, because I believe that when we truly choose, we can transform what seemed impossible into something real. So tell me, do you want to try one more time? I see that there is still something strong here, something that has never completely gone away. And I know that the choice is not easy, that it touches a part of us that might be easier to ignore, to set aside. But I tell you this because despite everything we have been through, all the stumbles and wounds, I still see a path. Not a perfect path, but a possible path. A path where we can start over without ceasing to be who we are today. I want you to understand that I am not idealizing anything here. I know that love is not this magical feeling that solves everything, that erases what has already been done. Love is a choice. And I am choosing to be here, ready to face whatever is necessary, ready to deal with what did not work before, without glossing over our mistakes or pretending that they did not exist. On the contrary, I want us to face each one of these failures head-on and use them to build something stronger, more solid. Maybe you think it's too late, that things between us have already lost meaning, but I disagree. I think it is precisely in the most difficult moments that we discover the true value of things. If everything had been easy, perhaps we wouldn't have learned what we needed to. Maybe I wouldn't have seen how much you really mean to me. And maybe you need to look at us again now with a more mature and conscious perspective of what really matters. I'm not asking us to erase what was done. I know it's impossible, but I'm here asking for another chance to show that people can change, that love can evolve. I don't want to promise that it will be easy. We already know it's not, and I'm also not going to ask you to forget or leave behind everything that hurt you, because these things are part of our story. I'm just asking that we don't let these pains define what can still be. You know, life is full of uncertainties. We never know what will happen. We don't know where our choices will lead us. But what I do know is that the regret of not trying is much heavier than that of trying and failing. I prefer to know that I did everything I could, that I gave everything of myself, that I was honest with what I feel. And if in the future that's not enough, at least I will have the peace of knowing that I didn't stay still, that I didn't let fear or scars speak louder than my desire to be by your side. What I'm saying is that I'm here with an open heart, ready to start over, to build a relationship that respects who we have become, that values what we have learned. Because deep down, that's what I want. I want something that goes beyond expectations, beyond appearances. I want a story that is ours, that makes sense to us, that is true and real, even if it means facing challenges. I know this path requires patience, that trust needs to be rebuilt, that fears will arise, and I am ready for all of that. I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to make you feel obligated to anything. I just want you to know that I am here, with this sincere desire to build something new, to do things differently, to look to the future with hope. This hope that somehow never left me, even when everything seemed lost. If you also feel that this story deserves a new chance, then let's go together. Let's go without haste, without exaggerated demands, but with truth as our foundation. Let's make this a conscious choice, a decision that comes from the heart, but also from the mind. Because only then, with this real commitment, with this clarity, can we take the next step without carrying the weight of the past in a way that paralyzes us. The truth is that I believe in us, and it's not because I think we are perfect or because I ignore our flaws. It's because I see the potential we have when we are together, what we are capable of creating. And I know that if we choose to follow this path, we can transform our wounds into something beautiful, something that strengthens us. If you feel this same desire, this same hope, then let's take this step. And if there is still doubt, if there is still some fear, I'm here to listen, to understand, to deal with each thing that needs to be resolved. Because this choice to me is much greater than any difficulty we may face. So I want you to reflect, I want you to feel, and if deep down you also believe, then let's go together. Let's build this story. Let's make that hope that once united us continue to guide us, now in a more mature, more conscious way. Because love is not just what we feel, it is what we choose to do with it. You know, sometimes I wonder how we got here. Between comings and goings, between choices we might not have made again, between words that were said and hurt more than they should have. But still, here we are. And I can't ignore this force that makes me want to try again, this certainty that we can still build something real despite everything. I'm not here saying that everything will be easy or that we won't face obstacles along the way, but if you, like me, feel that there is something more waiting for us, then I think it's worth the risk. Life doesn't give us many chances like this. And I believe that if we are being called to this, it's because we still have something important to live together. We can transform this story. We can do it in a different way, without the same mistakes, without the same pressures. I want it to be something that makes us feel good, that makes us grow. I don't want to go back to what we were before, because I know that didn't make us completely happy either. I want something new, built on everything we've already learned, on the failures and the achievements. I want us to create something authentic, something that reflects who we are today. Maybe you're wondering if this is possible, if we can really change the way we relate. And I understand that doubt, but I believe that if we are committed, if there is truth in what we are feeling now, then yes, it's possible. Because what brought us here was not perfection, but the willingness to make this work, to overcome difficulties, to find a way to walk together despite everything. I want to be clear about one thing. I'm not asking you to forget what happened. I know that some things leave marks that don't fade with time, but I believe we can give new meaning to those memories, transform them into something that strengthens us, that reminds us of how much we've been through and how we're still here, willing to try once again. I want us to look back at what's happened as a learning experience, as a starting point for something better. And I also want you to know that I'm here to listen to you, to understand what worries you, what hurts you, what still weighs on you. I don't want to push you into this decision. I want it to come from a sincere place, from a real desire. Because only then does it make sense. Only then can we build something that truly lasts, something that is greater than any problem that might arise. I'm proposing a new story, without masks, without illusions, without that burden of trying to be perfect for each other. I want us to be honest, to share our truths, no matter how difficult they are. I want us to truly see each other, with all that we are, and choose to be here even so, because only when we fully accept each other can something real happen. I know that this requires courage. I know that sometimes fear speaks louder, that we get stuck in what we already know, in what seems safe. But isn't it worth the risk? Isn't it worth giving a chance to something that can truly transform our lives, that can bring meaning, that can fill that empty space? I'm here with an open heart, with this sincere desire to try. I'm here because I see in you something that I don't find in anyone else. And because I feel that together we can build something that is just ours, something that makes sense for us, regardless of what others think or expect. It's not about perfection. It's about commitment, about being willing to take the next step, knowing that we will make mistakes, but that we will also grow from those mistakes. It's about accepting that love is not a bed of roses, but that when it's true, it has the power to transform us, to make us want to be better. And if you're still here, if you're still listening to me, maybe deep down you also feel that it's worth trying, that this story still has something to teach us, that we still have blank pages to write together. I want you to think about it, to feel if this desire is also there in your heart. Because if it is, then let's take this step. Let's make this love something that goes beyond difficulties, that overcomes the past, that transforms what was broken into something stronger, and above all, that makes us feel good, that makes us want to be here every day. So, tell me, do you want to give it a chance? Do you want to build this with me? That's what I wanted to tell you. Deep down, it all comes down to this choice. We're here, you and I, with this unique chance to turn what we feel into something real. It's not about promises, but about presence, about the willingness to face whatever it takes to build a story that makes sense, that is true. I know it's a path that requires courage, but I also know that what is true is worth every step, every effort. Now I want to know from you, what do you think about all this? Do you feel that the same desire is inside you? Do you think it's worth trying, that this story still has something to offer us? Share with me what you think, what you feel. Comment below. I want to hear from you. This exchange is what makes all of this stronger, more real. And if this message resonated with you, If it somehow touched what you feel, leave your like so I know I'm on the right track. And, of course, subscribe to the channel so we can continue this conversation, so I can bring more messages that make us think, that help us see what is inside our hearts. I am here and I am waiting for you. Let's go together on this journey.